in the Lord.
In a world full of questions, find your answers through the light of Islam. Join us on SLBC on channel 31 and 27 for Light of Islam, an enlightening talk show that explores faith, family, business ethics, education, youth matters, and today's pressing issues, all through the timeless guidance of the Quran and Hadith. Deepen your understanding, strengthen your values, inspire your life. Light of Islam every week only on SLBC on channel 31 and 27. Illuminate your mind, enrich your soul.
It's a pleasant morning and welcome to News Hour. I am Esther Susanette Bassi. Coming up, police arrest 6 people in relation to the death of Reverend Father Augustine Amadou in Kenema. It is World Suicide Prevention Day. Victims and survivors of depression call for decriminalization of suicide in Sierra Leone. And Mama Beach community appeal for proper hospital. Well, all these stories and more, including our segment, are all lined up in this edition. Please stay with us for the next hour. Welcome back, and now for our first story. The Sierra Leone police has arrested 6 suspects for the alleged involvement in death of Catholic priest Reverend Father Augustine Amadou in Kenema. The same were suspected to be connected with the attack on Nasset's manager John Lamina in Bo. Both incidents happened in August this year. Sulaiman Babatoué has the story.
DPPC overcharge, evidence against, police charge.
Martin Salu, Beshe Soare aka Success, Fode Salu, John Bangura aka Boyka, and Joseph Kamara, popularly known as Shine, were the 5 accused armed robbers alleged to have murdered the Catholic priest, Reverend Father Augustine Amara, in Kenema on the 30th of August 2025, and the attack on Nasset's manager in Bo, John Lamina, on the 28th of August 2025. And Fode Hassan Sise, a receiver of some of the items stolen by the 5 accused. Among the 6, Beshe Soare aka Success, an ex-convict, and Joseph Kamara, popularly known as Shine, another ex-convict, were believed to be among the November 6, 2023 fugitives. It was said that a warrant of arrest has been issued for another 4 accused who are on the run. The Director of Operations, Sierra Leone Police, Martin Senesi, said the Sierra Leone Police has increased security posture and strengthened patrols across the country and its borders. They assured Sierra Leoneans of a collaborative effort to make the country safe.
We want to continue to assure the public that the job of the police is to protect lives and property. This, we are not going to renege on that one. We continue to do our job, we continue to make sure that we do our patrols, we have our checkpoints where they should be, and then we continue to go after criminals who are disturbing members of the public.
Giving updates on other issues, the head of the Transnational Organized Crimes Unit, Mohamed Kugba Aliu, said about 42 Sierra Leoneans have been deported from America for illegal entry. He added that the number is expected to increase to 2,000 by December 2025. SLBC News, Sulaiman Babatue reporting.
Health experts and African scientists have disclosed the development of 6 Lassa fever vaccine samples, which are currently undergoing clinical trials. This disclosure was made at the ongoing Lassa fever conference in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. Emmanuel Samoa reports.
Statistics in Sierra Leone, even though not, we would say it's not 100% accurate, states an alarming figure of 9.2% out of every 100,000, which of course takes
Caused by a rat named the mastomys rodents, Lassa fever was said to be discovered around the 1960s in Nigeria. For over 5 decades, Lassa fever has not only claimed the lives of Nigerians, but other West African nations, including Liberia, Sierra Leone, and others, due to the movement of humans and other factors. In the over 5 decades, health experts have not been able to defeat it because of its symptoms that are similar to other health conditions. In recent years, health experts, scientists, and researchers have risen to the challenge towards the development of a vaccine. At the second ECOWAS International Conference on Lassa fever, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation disclosed the development of 6 Lassa fever vaccine candidates that are currently on clinical trials.
For vaccine developers progressing the vaccines, and it is also up to very important CEPI is a funder. CEPI is not doing clinical trials. The vaccine developers own the products, they are doing the trials.
Co-chair of the West African Consortium for Clinical Research on Epidemic Pathogens, Dr. Alhaji Njai, said the clinical trials the candidates are currently ongoing is to ensure that the vaccines are safe.
You get the vaccine, but to be certain, it has to first go through a clinical trial where you make sure it has the efficacy in humans, so it is effective. It is effective in humans, then it is safe. So the vaccine must satisfy these 2 conditions.
It is one thing to develop a vaccine candidate, but it is another thing for a country or an institution to have the facility for the clinical trials to be done. The Lassa fever lead in the Ministry of Health for Sierra Leone, Dr. Donald Grant, was boastful that Sierra Leone has the facility for clinical trials to be done, looking at the country's experience in Ebola and others.
We've also gone to another level that, we are proudly making mention of, which is genomic sequencing. These are levels that once you begin to reach there, you are not just talking about a virus outbreak or a viral outbreak, but you're also talking specifically which type of virus. You are talking about the strain of the virus that is causing this outbreak. So as a country, we have all of those capacities now.
Both Nigeria and Liberia similarly expressed measures that their countries have put and are currently putting in place for the acceptance of the vaccines in their respective countries.
The high political will that we have in Nigeria, political backing from the Honorable Coordinating Minister, we also have a platform, that's the tax team that was established in 2023 to look into effective Lassa fever vaccine development.
With the discoveries and commitment made, it is hoped that in the not too distant future, a vaccine for Lassa fever developed in Africa would be introduced to put an end to the deadly virus. Emmanuel Samoa, SLBC.
It houses hundreds of people and accommodates many businesses. Yet residents of Mama Beach say there is no well-structured hospital in the community for even basic medical services. They are calling on the intervention of the Ministry of Health and non-governmental organizations. Our intern reporter, Donald Macbenga, was there.
In the serene coastal neighborhood of Mama Beach, a growing wave of concern is sweeping through the community as residents raise serious concern about the unavailability of a proper hospital. Many residents said the unfinished hospital project in the community has left them vulnerable and many forced to travel to the nearby hospital just to seek for medication. One of the stakeholders in the community, Eva Lincoln, said that pregnant women are especially vulnerable in this current situation.
When a pregnant woman is due for delivery, unless we look for a motorbike to take the individual to the hospital even at night, some of the women do experience complications on the road, and some will even die upon arrival.
Community health worker Efwa Texan further explained the constraints they are faced with the community in terms of accessing proper health care.
Them picking they don't under 5 picking, they small picking. Someday when they go on a road, and they go and die.
Sometimes, when children under the age of 5 get an attack, we lost them on the way. And sometimes, even after we arrive at the hospital, they refer us to cottage.
Someday na cottage will they reach die.
However, at the heart of their plea for a structured and completed hospital project lies a temporal but unstructured hospital given to the community by the headman. According to residents, the temporal hospital is in no way enough for the community and lacks necessary equipment to function properly.
Okay, here now the service we choose for make labor room.
This is the place we choose to use as delivery room for pregnant women. This is not okay for us. Sometimes we even combine these tables for pregnant women to lie down during labor. We almost do everything in this room, including stitching and bandaging an individual who is injured.
Just because of the hospital able to make it, now we able to provide this science.
Efwa emphasized that the challenges are still there even with the arrival of temporal hospital.
And the same thing now they facing back. Guys now don't get hospital, they facing the same problem.
We are facing the same problems even though we have this temporal hospital. We normally take the sick to the Tombo Health Center when the nurses and doctors are not around or retire for the day after work. So we are still facing the same issues.
And the same thing back they facing.
As the struggle for a structured hospital continues in Mama Beach, stakeholders and residents in general are calling on governments and organizations to support them in completing the unfinished hospital and provide the necessary equipment for the proper health system in the community.
In a local town, Gloucester, Western World District, residents and bike riders have raised concerns over the decrepit state of the road, which also connects Regent and Lassa communities. Residents say the problem has been lingering for the longest of time and have since called on the government to help construct the road. Our intern reporter Mariam Kamara went to the community and puts this report together.
The local town road in Gloucester is riddled with lots of potholes, posing serious challenges and safety hazards to road users. Samuel Kagbo, a resident of Gloucester community, said the community faces a lot of challenges as a result of the condition of the road. Joseph Kohoma, a bike rider, also spoke similar challenges posed by the road.
This road, the challenges, Boko.
The challenges on this road are many. People had done several surveys on this road, but nothing has been done so far. A lot of small children use this road to school. We have to patch the holes with stones to make the road passable for our children. Sometimes when we carry passengers, we fall on the road because it is damaged. We are pleading with the government to please help this community by fixing the road.
Fatmata Bangura, another resident, spoke of how the state of the road is affecting the movement of people. She said drivers refuse to drive into the community because of the bad condition of the road.
Even taxis refuse to take us all the way to our destination. The drivers complain about the damaged road and drop us off halfway.
The chief of the local town, Pa Almami Kanu, said the road has been in deplorable condition since the colonial era.
The road has been in this condition since the colonial era. No effort has been made to fix it. It is very difficult for us to access transportation. We have to walk a long way from here to get a vehicle to town.
As the residents and bike riders continue their daily struggle, they are still hoping for better road, and fixing it would finally bring the change they have been waiting for.
From local town in Gloucester to Moiba in the east of Freetown, the community is home to thousands, yet its main road remains in a state of severe disrepair. For over a decade, residents have endured accidents, flooding, and daily discomfort caused by the damaged road, turning what should be a public utility into a public hazard. Our intern reporter Aminata Kamara puts this report together. Moiba community, the largest settlement in the Blackwell Road area of Freetown, is suffering due to a long neglected and severely damaged road. For over a decade, residents say the road has become a death trap, posing serious risk to motorists and pedestrians, especially children. Jibrila Bangura, a long-time resident of Mamba Ridge in Moiba, shared his concerns for the road.
Every year we get more than 20 cases then. When the people in the Fodong broke foot.
This road is dangerous. Every year we see over 20 accidents. People break their legs, some suffer permanent injuries, and others slip and fall while walking. I am pleading with the authorities to help us.
We have received countless promises, but nothing has changed. This road has caused so many problems. Vehicles and people often fall down. During the rainy season, flood water flows straight into our compound.
Residents said despite repeated promises, no lasting solution has been provided. As the rains intensify, so does the suffering of traders, bike riders and people who rely on this road every day.
Bike riders here have involved in several accidents, sometimes unintentionally injuring their passengers. The rainy season normally makes things worse, but this is where we earn our livelihood.
Young people in Moiba also see the road as a threat to daily life.
During the rainy season, it's almost impossible to sit outside. Riders splash dirty water on us, and some people fall off bikes and get hurt. We are begging the government to help us. Children and the elderly are most at risk.
Moiba's road is more than just a transportation issue. It is a daily safety hazard. As rains show no sign of abating, so will residents continue to suffer. The call is loud and clear. Moiba needs urgent road intervention before more lives are lost or harmed. Still on Community Watch, residents of the Mainkene community in Calabar Town have raised concerns over the poor road network in their area and are calling on the government to swiftly intervene. Our intern reporter Alaji Amadou files in this report.
In an effort to raise awareness about the deteriorating road condition in the Mainkene community, residents and business owners have expressed major concerns over the poor state of the road, one of the oldest roads in the area. The road has become even more dangerous, posing constant risk of accidents to motorbike riders, pedestrians, and residents in the community.
Normally, it serve me well about 10 to 15 years now, where it is in this deplorable condition.
This road has been in this condition for the past 10 to 15 years. As we are now in the rainy season, garbage is washed away and sharp rocks are exposed, making it very difficult for us to ride.
Within the next few years coming, it will be very difficult for people employ these routes here.
And now as I talk to you, so like we will get them shops there, I will really the strain.
Those of us who own shops here are really struggling due to the deplorable condition of the road. Some of my customers have even told me they won't return because of the road. In the dry season, there is always excessive dust.
Why dry season they come, they engage for dust, like business no go through with dry season they come because I'm more of dust.
The poor road network has caused numerous problems for residents in Mainkine community. They are now calling on government to come to their aid and help them have a good and quality road network.
Sierra Leone Ambassador to the Republic of Ireland, Babatunde Edwards, has formally presented his letters of credence to the President, Michael D. Higgins, in Dublin. During the ceremony, both leaders expressed their shared commitment to strengthening ties in areas of mutual interest, including development, cooperation, education, and cultural exchange. Ambassador Edwards reflected on the long-standing friendship between the two nations and the prospects for continued collaboration. The credential ceremony marked the official beginning of Ambassador Edwards' diplomatic mission in Ireland, symbolizing the deepening of bilateral relations between Sierra Leone and Ireland. The Ministry of Finance has begun a national workshop to update the government's medium-term debt strategy for 2025 to 2029. The new strategy will reflect the country's improved macroeconomic outlook and recalibrate 4 options in the ministry borrowing approach to reduce the cost and risk of Sierra Leone's debt portfolio. The country last updated its medium-term debt strategy in 2023 and approved by Cabinet. Ibrahim Samoa tells us more.
It is with this great optimism and a deep sense of national duty that I hereby declare this national workshop on updating the medium-term debt strategy 2025-2029 officially open.
The updated medium-term debt strategy for 2025 to 2029 will lay the foundation for a more disciplined, transparent, and forward-looking approach to public debt management. It would also support the government's decision on how best to manage its debt and take advantage of long-term instruments. Director of Debt Management, Minister of Finance, Matthew Sandin, underscored the importance of the engagement, stating the document captures the country's improved macroeconomic environment and reduce the cost and risk of the country's debt portfolio.
The medium-term debt strategy of the government of Sierra Leone is the tool that government uses to manage the costs and the risk of the existing debt portfolio that the country have. So to do that, we have a particular framework that we agree with international partners, including the World Bank and the IMF, to update our debt stock. And so the last time we did it was in 2023, when we used the debt stock cutoff point for 2022, and then we did the projections going forward.
Deputy Minister of Finance 1, Kedato Ali, reaffirmed government's commitment to debt transparency, responsible public finance, economic resilience, and the long-term prosperity of the country. Sierra Leone, she said, since 2023 has made remarkable progress in macroeconomic stability. Inflation declined significantly. Exchange rate has remained stable, among other achievements.
It was a bold step towards ensuring that every Leone borrowed serves the people through investments in agriculture, in education, in healthcare, infrastructure, and livelihoods. However, as any good strategy, It must evolve with time.
The station brought together skillful and experienced coalition of national stakeholders from the Bank of Sierra Leone, Ministry of Finance, NRA, BAN, and the University of Sierra Leone. Ibrahim Samara, Freetown.
The Armed Forces Wives Cooperative Society has commissioned a 3-classroom building at Wilberforce Barracks. The BMA International Junior Secondary School is the first junior secondary school to be constructed in Wilberforce Barracks for both military and civilian pupils. Abdul Mansari witnessed the opening ceremony and files in this report.
The president of the Armed Forces Wife Cooperative Society, AFWCS, Asanatu Sao Bangura, underscored the importance of education in developing the community and enhancing military and civilian inclusion. She stated that the Beme International Junior Secondary School is the first of its kind in the Wilberforce Barracks area, offering education at affordable tuition fees. She expressed the society's passion to promote educational standard and community development. Asnatu acknowledged the relevance of technology and how it will be incorporated into their school curriculum to match the standards of international schools. The inauguration ceremony was attended by state dignitaries, military officials, parents, and members of the local community. According to the Director of Human Capital Development at State House under the office of the Chief Minister, Namisa Krama, the establishment of Beme International Junior Secondary School was a testament to the commitment of the AFWCS to enhancing educational opportunities for children of military personnel and the surrounding community.
Establishment of Beme International Junior Secondary School is not just a physical investment in bricks and mortar. It is a profound contribution to the development of human capital, the most valuable resource any nation can possess.
The school aims to provide comprehensive and quality education, fostering both academic excellence and international language orientation, such as French.
Vie à Wilberforce dans un petit appartement. J'adore passer du temps avec mes amis.
As the ceremony concluded, attendees were given guided tour of the newly constructed facilities, showcasing classrooms designed to foster a holistic educational experience. SLBC News, Abdul Mansari reporting.
The Ministry of Defense and the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces have launched the Slbc Service Women's Day, aimed to be celebrated on the 7th of September every year. The launch, according to Deputy Minister of Defense, was part of government's commitment towards promoting gender equality and women's empowerment. Sulaman Babatui has the story.
The Slbc Service Women's Day celebration was born out of President Bio's promise made during the recruitment of over 300 female military officers in 2019. The launch and celebration was to honor current and ex-serving female military officers for their selfless sacrifices, efforts to break barriers, and representing the country in international programs and missions. Most senior serving female military officer and coordinator of Women and Children's Health, 34 Military Hospital, Colonel Dr. Tomoshia George, admonished all to consider the event as a turning point for gender empowerment and men seeing women as potential allies in defending a beloved nation.
We, the serving women of Slbc, are not asking that standards be lowered to accommodate us. Rather, we ask that we be supported and given opportunities to build our capacities to serve alongside you as allies and colleagues, and not as ration.
Deputy Minister of Defense registered his ministry's commitment to strengthening equality in the military, eliminating gender discrimination, women's empowerment, and promotion based on merit. The Deputy Minister of Defense admonished the celebrants to take the celebration as a declaring call to equity in the military.
This moment is a clear testament to the commitment of our staff to upholding and responding to the barrier assessment of 2022, the Women, Peace and Security Agenda, the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 and 1820, the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act 2022, respectively.
Guest of honor and gender advisor to the president, Aissata Jabi Kaba, referred to the celebration as a moment of recognition, commitment, bravery, and dedication to service for women in uniform in defending Sierra Leone. She told her audience to build a force where women and men thrive for a success.
Across the world, the role of women in defense and security has proven indispensable, and Sierra Leone is no exception. Our women in uniform have demonstrated courage, resilience, and professionalism, whether in peacekeeping missions abroad, in safeguarding our national borders, or in providing essential humanitarian support to communities in times of crisis.
The launch was honored by officials from the Sierra Leone Correctional Service, Armed Forces Wives Cooperative Society, and ex-serving women. SLBC News, Sulaiman Babature reporting.
You're watching News Hour, coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation on Channel 31. We continue with more stories. In paving a pathway for investment and development in Sierra Leone, the management of the Freetown Terminal, a subsidiary of African Global Logistics, has revealed a plan of $50 million to improve operation in ports. The regional manager, African Global Logistics, Captain Fabjanko, said the plan includes modernizing the ports and training of staff. Cynthia Kamara has more.
The Freetown Terminal, a subsidiary of Africa Global Logistics, is the leading operating company in Sierra Leone. The terminal serves as the nation's primary gateway for international trade, equipped with infrastructure and crucial equipment to facilitate efficient and effective container handling operations. This time, the terminal management is also set to modernize the port with a $50 million investment.
To bring a new equipment, we call RTG. These are the two new machines that I will be very pleased to show you, which arrived in July this year. And after that we have a new phase of repair of the key number 3 to 6 together with the government of Sierra Leone. After that we have again new machines which are going to come to modernize port, and of course to speed up operations and productivity and attractivity, of course modernization. As from the solar panel, as from the electrical trucks, port trucks, that we are heading toward the green terminal in the future. Of course, there is important as well is the building new workshop, because machines are going to be much more. Building new office of the Freetown Terminal Limited.
With 99% of its workers being Sierra Leoneans, the team has made commitments to train its workers to operate advanced machineries and manage terminal operations.
10 people, very qualified. They stay with our crew here, team, for about 5 months. They train 80 of them. They make refreshment training. 80 of them, there was new train, and 40 plus we employed. So since beginning of the year, we employed 60 plus people. So everything is possible. It's no question of the machine, it's the question of the willing and our philosophy of development Africa. How we want to develop Africa without competent people.
The company is implementing measures to separate heavy equipment from pedestrian areas, an initiative that will pave the way for a pedestrian-free port environment. The safety of workers notwithstanding was set to be the targets with zero accident objective. Installing additional CCTV cameras at the port alongside construction of new office building that will commence this year are all part of plans to modernize the port. For SLBC News, Cynthia Kama reporting.
Research has shown that children who are not taught in their local languages often face issues not limited to poor academic outcomes, reduced confidence, and a disconnection from their cultural heritage. To address the issue, the Association of Language and Literacy Educators, READ in Sierra Leone, has celebrated the International Literacy Day by promoting a sustainable reading culture across schools, tertiary institutions, public and private organizations, and communities. The association also donated books to the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation and other institutions in Freetown. Joyan Dumbea reports.
The Communication and Operation Manager, Association of Language and Literacy Educators, Reading Sierra Leone, Emily Tula, said the organization was working closely with education stakeholders to promote the philosophy of teaching for learning. He noted that their mission was to strengthen the literacy potential of pupils, enable them to read, learn, and contribute to building and leading the future.
It is a kind of a life skills, because when we talk about literacy, we talk about reading, writing, and comprehension. As an organization, we are partnering with national and international organizations, notably Good Canada, an organization resided in Canada, supported by GAC, Global Affairs Canada. We are a local organization implementing broad education programs in Sierra Leone. As I noted, we have conducted or implemented several projects in Sierra Leone in education.
The Director General of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC, Josephine Kamara, described the book donation as a laudable initiative that will benefit Sierra Leoneans. She expressed her appreciation for the gesture and assured that SLBC will provide a space for the donation books to be used effectively.
So the language of understanding will probably make it easier for our citizens to understand some of these concepts. Because when you put something like hydrogen, chloroxide, whatever that name is, if you put it here, nobody knows. But if you can describe hydrogen dioxide, what it means in Mende, in Timni, in Limba, in Fula, I think the ordinary citizen will understand. So if you're teaching chemistry and you're speaking about hydrogen dioxide, if you don't explain it, go down into the nitty-gritties of explaining it.
As Sierra Leone continues to prioritize education, partnerships like these bring hope that through the simple act of reading, a child can discover not only knowledge but also their identity. For SLBC, Julian Dumbuya reporting.
Well, it's now time for a segment, beginning with the international news.
It's a very pleasant welcome to the International News Summary News for this hour. 7 Chinese nationals who smuggled Malawians to South Africa and subjected them to forced labor have been handed 20-year prison terms each. The 4 men and 3 women were found guilty of human trafficking and kidnapping earlier this year by South African courts. Their sentence comes nearly 6 years after they were arrested when local authorities raided a factory in Johannesburg and found 91 Malawians nationals, 37 of them children, working in appalling conditions. According to the government, human trafficking is a major concern in South Africa, with the country regarded as a source, transit and destination. The group Kavin tasked, including 5 others, was found guilty on 158 out of 160 counts for which they were charged. This includes helping illegal immigrants remain in South Africa and violated the country's labor laws by failing to register their operations and keep a record of their earnings, among others. The factory raid come after authorities received a tip-off from a worker who had managed to escape. Lawmakers in Hong Kong have rejected a controversial bill that would have granted limited right to same-sex couples, in a blow to the city's gay rights movement. The law, which would have recognized some rights for couples who were married overseas, was opposed by 71 of the city's 89-member legislative council. It was proposed by the government to comply with a 2023 court ruling following the rejection of an attempt to legalize same-sex marriage. While the city has in recent years been perceived as becoming gay-friendly, it has limited rights for the estimated 6% of the adult population who are identified as LGBTQ. Human rights groups Amnesty International criticized the rejection of the bill, saying it showed an alarming disdain for LGBTQ rights and urged Hong Kong authorities to introduce a new and revised bill. A high-level independent rights probe into the brutal war in Sudan has condemned the many grave crimes committed by all combatants, citing evidence indicating that civilians have been deliberately targeted, displaced, and starved. Chair of the fact-finding mission on Sudan, Mohammed Chadin Uthman, has insisted that both the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces militia had carried out atrocity crimes. Survivors from RSF detention cite the scattered locations as slaughterhouses. Investigators stopped short of labeling the atrocities as genocide, but they said amounted to crimes against humanity and extermination, warning that without accountability, such violations will persist. And finally, on the international news, summary news for this hour. Israeli attacks across Gaza have killed more than 50 people so far today, as the assault to capture Gaza City and force 1 million Palestinians from their homes continues. Its warplanes have carried out more bombings of Yemen's capital, Sana'a, and other locations around the country. As the U.S. proposed ceasefire was discussed for a war-battered Gaza Strip, a widespread global condemnation has erupted after Israel attacked Hamas senior leadership in the Qatari capital, Doha. Qatar has condemned the cowardly attack and says there was no warning of the strike from the U.S. 5 more Palestinians, including a child, have died of starvation and severe malnutrition in the past 24 hours. Israel's war in Gaza has killed at least 64,656 people and wounded 156,503 since October 2023. Well, that's all in the international news summary. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.
Well, let's move over to our business desk for some latest updates.
Hello and welcome to Business Update segment that brings you the insights in business and its contributions towards positive impact in the economy. I'm Dennis Fraser. In today's edition, traders at Blackall Road PWD are calling on the authorities to provide them with more available market spaces. Now, traders at Blackall Road PWD have raised concerns over limited spaces in the market and are calling on the authorities to provide them with more spaces. Now, our intern reporter Aminata Kamara went there and put together this report.
The Bottom Mango Market, a well-constructed facility, is on tap as many traders continue to sell at Moiba Junction, opposite the market. Despite the polished infrastructure, street trading persists. Adama Mansare, a fish trader, voiced her frustration.
I have been trading here for over 10 years. The problem is,
Those already inside the markets refuse to allow us in, saying we have always sell outside, so we should stay there. We have no choice but to sell on the streets so we can feed our children. I am pleading with the government to step in.
Many traders echoed similar concerns. Fatmata Conte stated,
When we try to enter the market, they drive us away, claiming there is no space. We don't have anywhere else to go. I am asking the government to provide umbrellas or support so we can earn and take care of our families.
Other traders say the risk of selling on the street is growing. Mawa Kamara, another trader, said,
I have tried selling inside, but they push me out, saying I can't place my goods in front of theirs. Meanwhile, I can see empty spaces while I'm standing in the rain. I just need support so I can trade inside the market safely.
Despite the existence of a well-built market, many traders remain outside, exposed to the harsh weather and road hazards due to limited cooperation and enforcement. They called on government to provide fair access to the markets and support to operate in safe, dignified conditions. Without intervention, informal trading will likely continue, putting both traders and customers at risk.
But that's all in this edition of Business Updates. Many thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Many thanks to our business desk. And now for our final segment, let's join our sports desk.
Thank you very much. In this edition of the update in Kinshasa, a World Cup bid crumbled into chaos as the Democratic Republic of Congo squandered a 2-goal lead in a dramatic 3-2 loss to Senegal on Tuesday, extinguishing their hopes of qualifying. While the defeat sparked outrage as fans turned on the venue that had briefly held their dreams. Let's join Abdul Kabir for more of that.
The Democratic Republic of Congo's hopes for spots in the FIFA World Cup were dealt a devastating blow on Tuesday, leading to chaos and destruction at the Pentecost Stadium. In a shocking turn of events, the Leopards squandered a 2-goal lead, ultimately falling 3-2 to a resilient Senegal side in a crucial World Cup qualifier. The dramatic loss sent shockwaves through the packed stadium, resulting in fans reportedly destroying parts of the venue in a furious display of frustration. The match started like a dream for the home side, with goals from Cedric Bakambo and Wissa putting DR Congo in a commanding position. However, Senegal, who entered the match trailing the Congolese in Group B, mounted a sensational comeback. A powerful strike from Papi and a goal from Nicholas Jackson leveled the score before halftime. The final blow came from just 3 minutes to the extra time when Papi netted the winner, converting an opportunity for the Senegalese to go on top of the group. The final whistle triggered an immediate and destructive response from the disappointing DR Congo supporters. Reports and videos circulating online showed scenes of immense anger, with fans tearing up seats and causing significant damage to the stadium. The result not only sees the Leopards drop to second place, but also leaves their World Cup dreams in a disastrous position with just 2 games remaining. While Senegal celebrates a hard-fought win that puts them in a strong position to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the focus in Kinshasa is on the aftermath of a defeat that was too much for the passionate home crowd to bear. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the intense emotions and high stakes involved in World Cup qualifying, where every goal and every loss can have a profound impact.
Well, that's all we can share this edition of the updates. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Mohamed Lamin today, and goodbye.
Well, many thanks to our sports desk. Now to end the news, the main points again. The police has arrested 6 people for their alleged involvement in death of Catholic priest Reverend Father Augustine Amadou in Kenema. The same were suspected to be connected with the attack on NASIT's manager John Lamina in Bo. Both incidents happened in August this year. As Sierra Leone joins the world in marking World Suicide Prevention Day, victims and survivors of depression have called for the decriminalization of suicide in the country. And Mama Beach has appealed for a proper health facility. The community is home to hundreds of people. Well, that's how we wrap up this morning edition of Newsa from the SLBC. I am Esther Suzanette Bassi. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay glued.
A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance. Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever. Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. Tides turn, seasons change, we've waited and we've watched. But we've always been here. We've always listened, because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place. All of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
And you know when it's your time.
And it's our time.
Listen, we are Freetown.
We are Freetown!
The golden rules of Freetown.
Don't pretend you're something that you're not.
Don't go thinking you're better than anyone else.
Or that anyone else is better than you.
Don't shout about it. Get on with it.
We are Freetown.
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 Yeah.
We found our voice again.
I'm from India and Freetown.
I'm from China and Freetown.
I'm from the UK and Freetown.
I am from Nigeria and Freetown.
I am from home and Freetown.
This city belongs to everyone.
The fishermen,
the taxi driver,
the barber,
the drummers, dancers.
All of us.
All of us. Everybody. We are Freetown.
The past is ours.
The future is ours. It's our time again.
And this city belongs to everyone.
The playwright,
the greengrocer,
the teacher,
the dog.
This space is ours.
This light is ours.
The beaches are ours.
The rivers now we own.
The roads are ours.
The bridges now we own.
We are Freetown.
We are all visitors and we've all been here forever.
We've got the mightiest river.
And the biggest sky.
And there's a resonance again.
Freetown. Freetown.
We are proud of this place.
We love this city.
And we want you to love it too.
We are proud of this place.
Na pass we all dey pass like stranger them, but we all don't dare from them. Come here, and you'll feel it, that end of the line sense of freedom. Say yes to Freetown. Say yes to freedom.
We are the national broadcaster, and I am Sulaiman Baba Toure, a reporter and presenter at the SLBC. Your voice, my voice.
From the commercial department, I am Regina Bangura. You are watching SLBC. Your voice, my voice.
I am Jonathan Turner, a reporter for Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC. As a reporter, I do stories on education, health, politics, and more. Stay glued with SLBC to watch my stories. Your voice, my voice.
Lucian Ganda, producer Wayus, and producer and presenter Christian Renditions on TV. This is the SLBC.
I am William Wise, presenter Wayus and also reporter at the SLBC, and this is the SLBC.
I am Salma Tabak, television executive producer. I produce programs on both radio and television. I'm a news anchor, a presenter, an announcer on radio. I enjoy what I do because I serve a public service broadcaster. It's a pleasure to work with the SLBC. I am Tilly Koma, Head of News and Current Affairs Unit, Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Our news hour now covers several segments. We have entertainment, business, weather, sports, ferry schedule, and human interest stories, not forgetting politics. We are doing all that to keep you people posted on what's happening all over the country. Thanks for being with us at SLBC. Keep blue. We are the best.
Water business, now we're all business. We don't have enough police to go and soldiers to go all over the mountains. Sierra Leoneans, then they go on net and they take power, so then they cut the forest. People who claim to be elites, they go build now the green zone. I have had to personally take money from my own pocket to give it to bulldozers to bulldoze these houses. We are destroying one of the most valuable resources in this country and anywhere in the world, this water catchment area. A lot of people go at night and do exactly the opposite. And for those who are building mansions, those mansions are going to go down. The only sanctuary, animal sanctuary we have here for the chimpanzees. Human beings almost invaded, and they will come back complaining that the chimpanzees have affected them. Elsewhere, this is preserved. You don't need to be there. It is our responsibility. It's the national animal of this country. Are you Sierra Leoneans? You are not when you do that. I can't be everywhere, and I can't provide policemen and soldiers to enforce this. We should be our own disciplinarians.
We are the national broadcaster, and I am Sulaiman Babature, a reporter and presenter at the SLBC. Your voice, my voice.
From the commercial department, I am Regina Bangura. You are watching SLBC. Your voice, my voice.
I am Jonathan Turner, a reporter for Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC. As a reporter, I do stories on education, health, politics, and more. Stay glued with SLBC to watch my stories. Your voice, my voice.
Lucy and Ganda, producer Wayus, and producer and presenter Christian Renditions on TV. This is the SLBC.
I am William Wise, presenter Wayus and also reporter at the SLBC. And this is the SLBC.
I am Salma Tabak, television executive producer. I produce programs on both radio and television. I'm a news anchor, a presenter, an announcer on radio. I enjoy what I do because I serve a public service broadcaster. It's a pleasure to work with the SLBC.
I am Tilly Koma, Head of News and Current Affairs Unit, Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Our news hour now covers several segments. We have entertainment, business, weather, sports, ferry schedule, and human interest stories, not forgetting politics. We are doing all that to keep you people posted on what's happening all over the country. Thanks for being with us at SLBC. Keep blue. We are the best.
It's a very pleasant good morning and warm welcome to Good Morning Sierra Leone. Today is Thursday, the 11th of September 2025. We start with our quote of the day, and it's from an American author, Neil Donald Walsh, and it says, "There is a divine purpose behind everything, and therefore a divine presence is everything." In this edition, 6 arrested at Sierra Leone Police made breakthrough in Bo and Kenema robberies that killed Reverend Father Amadou. Ministry of Health reported a decline in mpox cases from over 2,000 to 63 nationwide, and an all-girls STEM boarding home, the Olive B Academy, opens this September at Freetown. All these issues, including messages which you can send to 0300737119. You can follow our conversation on our Facebook page at SLBC. It's yourself. Welcome back to the program. The Sierra Leone Police have arrested 6 suspects as part of an intensified investigation into recent armed robberies in Bo and Kenema, which killed Reverend Father Augustine Dauda Amadou in Kenema and seriously injured John Lamina in Bo. Police say the arrests occurred during targeted operations, and the suspects were found with firearms and various housebreaking implements, which are being investigated as part of a criminal case. The Catholic priest was allegedly killed by armed robbers at his residence in Kenema on the 31st of August this year. For more on that, I have Media One, ACP Brian Akama. Good morning and welcome to the program, ACP. Alright, so how were you able to actually identify these individuals?
Well, whilst we are still doing our operations, conducting investigations, we are able to get one receiver, one of the property belonging to the nurse manager. And so from there, that was a clue to us. And then we were able to pursue that one. And then we now had access to the guys we arrested, because it's like when you are doing investigation, it's a kind of chain. Every information you have or you get, you have to follow that one through. And then we were able to follow through on that one, and then we were able to arrest them. One thing we realized, they had direct link to the incident that also occurred on the 30th of August in Kenema. So this is how we got them, and we still have them. And then we still have 4 on the run because we've come to realize that they are 10 in number and they are working as a group. So we are trying to get them as well so that we are willing to face justice.
Okay, so who are these individuals? The 6?
They are Sierra Leoneans, and presumably they appear to be very young. I understand within the ages of 25 and 35, they appear to be very young. And we have 2 among them who are supposed to be at Kenema Road, but we don't know how they came out. So that is also part of the investigations. So we didn't want to say, oh, they came out as a result of November 26, or maybe they finished their sentences, or otherwise. So that is also part of the investigations. We did a thorough investigation within the police records, and we came to realize that they've gone through our forensic hands, and they are now at Kenema Road. So how they came out, I cannot tell you for now, except the investigation will have to prove that one.
Okay, so let's talk around again these individuals. Like you mentioned, 2 among them were convicts. That is also part of the investigations. So far, what have you been getting from these individuals? Any initial questioning?
Yeah, we've done. We continue to probe. We are interrogating them. There are things we can say publicly, and there are things we cannot say. We do not have to put all our cards on the table. Because if we do that one, then there is no way we can get at the other guys we are going after. You know, these guys are fugitive. They view television, they listen to radio, and they also surf the internet to get information. So we have to be very careful how we put out information. But the fact remains, they are speaking, and based on what they are telling us, we are working on those ones as well.
Okay, so let's talk around again the receiver. The receiver also has direct link with both the incident in one of Kenema or just the Nassit boss?
Well, I wouldn't talk about the one in Kenema, but the property we found in his possession was from the home of the Nassit manager. So we had to pursue that line of investigation, and we came to realize that it was this set of people who sold the property to him, and then we went in search of them, searched their homes, and then we were able to see things they are not supposed to be in their own possession. We have what we call strict liability law, like drugs. They are not supposed to be in a possession. So if they are found in a possession, the owners rest on it to prove otherwise. You understand? It's not the work of the police to say, oh, we have to prove how it came in. No, that's not the job of the police. That's not even the job of the court. It is you who has that responsibility to prove that this property came into my possession for A, B, and C reasons, and then the court will now have to make the determination as to whether what you are saying is right or wrong. But the fact is, you cannot possess property alleged to have been stolen from somewhere. So you now have to tell us how you got the property. So this is what we follow. Those leads, follow them, and then those leads took us to where they took us, and then we made a very big breakthrough. And this is the result of the hard work of the police. And they will continue to.
Was it a difficult operation to actually get these individuals?
It could always be difficult at times, then sometimes it is easy. But whoever is involved in criminality, don't forget, they do their own studies as well. You know, whether it is formal or informal, but they do their own studies as well. You know, so this is why, as an ordinary individual or a citizen of the public, you always have to take your time. Even this time, I see people normally, if they want to go to Bo or Kenema or McKinney, they will take pictures. I'm now leaving for Bo, I'm now leaving for Kenema. These are personal information. You know, you should keep to yourself. You know, go there and come. I mean, you come and say I was in Bo, that's fine. But you are on. I'm not around Bo Kenema. You create a lot of stuff. You know, you have. So these are some of the things. So they are there. They also do their own study, and then they can track you down. So we have to be just careful how we manage information, so that at the end of the day we continue to be safe.
Beside the 2 convicts, the 4 individuals, were they on your radar for any crime or under investigation that these people they were actually wanted? Because by what we also noticed, if these 10 people actually linked to both events, it appears as if these are individuals that are actually bent on destabilizing, areas within the southeast, where people actually have been complaining of recent for over a year the level of armed robbery.
And this is where I have to manage that information. Some information, like I said, there is overt aspect of policing, and there is also the overt aspect of policing. So let's leave this one for the covert aspect, whether they've been on our radar. There are so many people on our radar, or whether them particularly. Let's just allow the investigations to continue and see how possibly we can get to the very end, because we have a very difficult task. In law, when you say somebody does something, like the law we have in Sierra Leone, it behoves you to prove that he did it. The onus rests on you. That responsibility rests on you. And when you fail to discharge that responsibility, the benefit of the doubt is given to the accused. So for now, we don't all say, hey, they were there. We have information that they were there. That is not going to stop us from doing what we are supposed to do. We'll still gather the facts, gather the evidence, because at the end of the day, the matter has to go to court. If we fail to take the evidence we have to court, then no matter the circumstance, they are going to be let off the hook. So we want to take our time and making sure that we get the right information, and then also be very mindful about what
How does the law handle the receiver in this circumstance?
He is equally culpable like the one who committed offense. So this is why when you want to buy property, let me advise you, let me use one as a way of advising people. There are things you normally look for. You might, most people say, you are not say not thief property. I didn't know, I wasn't aware. But the question we ask you, one, this property, where do you think is the right place for it to be sold? Is it in the shop? You must say yes. So did you buy it from the shop? No. This property is sold for, under normal circumstance, for 10,000 euros. Did you buy it at that price, 10,000 euros? Say no, I bought it at 2,000. So that should be the suspicion. Oh, this property could have been stolen. Understand? So those are some kind of safeguards.
All right. So as we before I move to another issue again, events follows just after the incident. We saw also, a major shake-up, especially for those that were actually serving in those regions, for the south and eastern region. Does this have any direct link to the incident?
Yeah, well,
which shows that maybe this set of people, they were not effective enough to provide security for those in one
they've been there. They've been there. We cannot just say they are not effective, because they've been there, and some have spent 2 years, above 2 years or below 2 years, as the case may say. They've been doing their own job. But in policing, you always move from point A to point B. And we now ask you to go and share your experience and knowledge about policing to another area you are really assigned to. Or somebody else will come, probably with a kind of profile to deal with this subsisting situation. Understand? So they were moved because they probably had been there for some time, so we now needed to move them away from those points.
Okay, thank you so much, ACP Makama Media One, giving us an insight into the recent, arrest of 6 suspects as part of an intensified investigation into the recent armed robberies in Bo, as well as in Kenema, that even led to the death of one Father Ahmad. We continue the rest of the program. Aside security, let's move on now to health, where in the Ministry of Health has reported a drastic decline in active Mpox cases, moving from over 2,000 active infections to just 63 currently under monitoring. Health officials have called it a monitoring sign in the country's ongoing fight against the virus, but are urging the public not to let their guard down. For more on this, I have in the studio the Deputy Executive Director, National Public Health Agency, Dr. Mohammed Alex Fandi. Good morning and welcome to the program, Doctor.
Thank you.
All right, let's also link this with already what WHO is also advising. Does this have a direct link with that?
Well, yes, because WHO advises based on data that they gather from all member states. So at one point, you can remember, we are recording over 200, 250 cases per week, and now we are in single digits. And it's the same thing for DR Congo, it's the same thing for other countries. So the numbers are reducing. So therefore, that's why they say the outbreak is still there, but it's no longer an international concern. It is no longer of international concern. The public health emergency is still there, but it's no longer of international concern. But they are not saying the outbreak is over. That is not what the president is saying. It's not it's over. It is no longer an outbreak of international concern. But we still have the outbreak in the country. We have the numbers are now in single digits, which we have done very well. But as I mentioned earlier today, it is very difficult to bring it down to zero now from the single digit. When we are 200, you know, there's this drastic reduction in the numbers. But now we are slowing down somehow because it's difficult to get together. And that's why we have changed our strategy. That's why we are not focusing on the community. That's why now we have engaged all the department chiefs, the council, chairmen, and mayors. We brought them here to discuss. We are going to every district to engage the council and the department chief to engage, because we know outbreak starts in communities and outbreak will end in communities. So if you have the buying in of the community, it will make it more easier for us. Not about medical aspect of it, we are able to do that, but the community aspect is very critical. So at this point, we need to focus on that, and that's what exactly we are doing. And then we're also going to refocus on our attention now to the hotspots, districts, like Western area, rural and urban. That's why we have over 70% of the cases in the country. So we are focused on Western area, rural and urban, and we're also focusing on the border districts, because Liberia and Guinea, they are also recording cases. Of course, not as high as we used to have. But in fact, actually speaking, we have less positive cases as compared to Liberia. That they have more cases than us. But because of our borders are porous, we need to tighten up our surveillance along the border. So we are going to ensure that the border districts are also continuing what they are doing, because they're already in high gear. All of them, all the districts, we engage them. So we are going to refocus. The enhanced integrated epoch response strategy is ending this week. And then we are going to expand. We are going to extend that for the hotspot district, as I mentioned, Western area inclusive, and of course the border districts. So basically that's what we are going to continue with that. We want to hit zero, and then we count 2 consecutive incubation period, which is 42 days. Okay. After which we declare the outbreak over. But that does not mean the virus will disappear. The virus will still be around. Okay,
so let's talk around there. What is expected of a country, including Sierra Leone, with such advice on WHO? So what normally, as medical people, what normally do you do? So what are some of the highs and lows at the time, especially with the advice?
So the low of that is that is telling the international community that the outbreak is getting, the outbreak is getting better, you know, across the countries. But there should be no room for complacency, as you mentioned. So that is the posture we are taking as a country, as an agency and the Ministry of Health and the National Public Health Agency. We are saying, even though the WHO says that it is no longer an outbreak of international concern, to us, we must get to zero. And that's our focus. Our target is get to zero, maintain that 0 to 42 days, and then we declare the outbreak over. And then routinize the surveillance of epoch, before we know the virus is not going anywhere, it's still going to stay with us.
But what are you also learning from other countries? For example, also see on the international news, Ebola in some countries that the virus left some years back, they are also back.
And that's exactly the point I'm making. We had Ebola here 2014, 2016. We have routinized the surveillance. So every suspected case in this country is tested for Lassa fever, tested for Ebola, tested for Marburg. All of the 3. From that time, we are testing all of them. Come COVID is declared over, but we are still testing for COVID. Anybody who sees signs and symptoms of COVID-like illnesses, we test them. The same thing we are going to do for mpox. Even when we declare the outbreak over, we are going to continue testing for mpox. You had the incident in Liberia, we said, as you said yesterday. Yeah, there was a suspected case. Currently, while on my way here, I communicated with my colleague over there. They've tested the individual for Lassa fever, Marburg, and Ebola. They all tested negative. You see, so we are alert. We are on our high alert, and then we make sure we continue keeping that posture. But we know the outbreaks are here. The viruses are here with us. All we need to do now is we have to be in continuous preparedness. Because the issue now is not if the outbreak will come. It's not an issue when the outbreak will come. That's the posture we are taking, generally. So not only mpox, not only COVID, for any other outbreak. we are prepared for.
At some point, I think early this week, you recorded a 0 case.
Yes.
And just after a few days, we also saw 6.
Yes.
So what is that also sending out?
So what does mean is that when you get a 0 on a Monday, you know, you have to look at it with your eyes open, because maybe the surveillance guys did not do much on Sunday or the weekend. So we don't want to be over, reactive to that. Oh, they say we are going to celebrate that. No. Even though some districts have recorded, they have gone up to 57 days without a single case. We have 4 districts, 5 districts that have gone that far.
Can we know some of this?
Oh yes, Kenema has gone to 57 days. Bond has gone to 47 days without. We only have 3 districts that have recorded cases now. The last yesterday and today. But we are still not. The target here is we must have a national 0, not district 0. Because any one case in any district, we are still not saying we want to get a national 0.
Okay, you have been also in consultation with paramount chiefs as other stakeholders. What's expected of them, especially at a time like this when you're also having the WHO advice? So
what is expected of them, as I mentioned earlier, outbreaks start in communities. It has to end there. We have to get the buy-in of the community. They are citizens, they are subjects. They listen to the chiefs, they listen to their councillors, they listen to the chairman better than us. Because we are engaging them in things, we are talking grammar, we are talking science. But if they talk to them, it's easy for them to understand from their perspective. Therefore, we need to get their buy-in, we need to get their understanding. That is the reason why we brought all of them here to Freetown, to engage them, and we also follow up with them in their respective districts to make sure we follow up with that and provide the resources, that is, even as meager as possible, but we provide resources to all of them to ensure they engage their subjects, for them to understand the signs and symptoms of mpox, for them to report cases that they see, and they also for them to practice the safety measures that we are telling them to do to prevent themselves from transmitting the virus.
So let's talk around. Schools are now officially opened again. It's time for a lot of crowd around, people mixing up and all. What is the agency up to in that line, especially school authorities?
The response is driven by data. If you scrutinize the data that we've been putting out, majority of the cases are young people, and most of them are students, either university or high school students. So we know that. And in fact, the case category of 25 to 30, from 25 to 39, most of the cases we have female topping the list with that category. So we know the schools are targeted. So before the schools reopen, we already have issued out the press release. We have engaged the Ministry of Education. With our partners, WHO, CDC, and other partners around, we have engaged, and we are now distributing hand washing stations to those universities, to schools, and to marketplaces for them to make sure to maintain the hand washing culture, because they are coming from the various homes. We don't know what they are coming with, so they need to prepare them and prevent the spread of the virus. So we have engaged them, and we'll continue to engage them. We have teams that go to schools to engage them, during the assembly time. To university, we have team also that is going there, the psychosocial team and the risk communication team that are going out to the university. We also have the people that have survived from the ambassadors for mpox. These are all young people, they are students, some of their students. We are going out with them to engage, to talk to them, for them to understand that if you come early, if you detect the cases early, you cannot go, because we have recorded 50.
Will you also link this success to the vaccination?
We want to link, because we haven't done any specific study. We are about to do that study, the efficacy of the vaccine that we are using. But then we want to attribute the success to vaccine. Because what we have done is, the target has been vaccinating contacts. We started by targeting healthcare workers at the initial stage, because the vaccines are not in large quantities. So we are targeting those vulnerable groups, like healthcare workers who have interfacing with the cases. So these are the ones we started with. But we'll change our strategy slightly. We are not focusing on healthcare workers who is sitting at the building or who is sitting in the office. We are targeting healthcare workers who are in the lab, handling the samples. We are taking healthcare workers who are in the treatment center, the surveillance officers who are interfacing with the cases directly. Those are the ones we are targeting. And then now we are focusing on the contacts of positive cases. Initially, we are targeting specifically after the results out. That's why we go there. But what we realize is, by the time we go, most of them we are moved. So what we do now is, that's why we say integrated approach. The integrated approach is the vaccine team goes with the surveillance team, all of them go together. Once they suspect a case, they identify it in the community. All those contacts, high and medium contacts, we vaccinate all of them instantly. vaccinate all of them. So we think this has helped greatly to reduce the number of cases that we are seeing. So, and this is the direction we are taking. The vaccines are there. Luckily, we've got additional vaccine on Tuesday from the American government, about 67,000 doses through Gavi. So that's what we delivered. It was delivered by the ambassador, the Secretary of Affairs of the American Embassy, yes, on Tuesday to the Minister of Health. So we have that. So we have vaccine to do that. We don't have vaccine to vaccine the entire population. No, we don't have the vaccine. And these vaccines are very expensive. Very expensive. One dose, this is one of the most expensive vaccines. One dose of it is about 120 euro. The one they negotiated with is about over $60. This is extremely expensive vaccine. Thank God with the influence of our government, our Minister of Health got with the international partners, we're able to secure it. We have more vaccine than many countries in West Africa. Many countries in West Africa. We are very grateful for the influence, for the support we got from the President, from the Minister of Health, Dr. Demi, who has used his influence with the WHO and Gavi and other places. We are able to secure this. But we are not going to secure more because more countries want vaccine. And so I know a small country that having this amount of vaccine, I don't think we are going to have more. So we have to make sure we use this. In fact, we're even thinking of fractionalizing it, fractional doses. The one that we are giving one person now will be given to 5 people. And it's still effective. Science have proven that. They have done research, they have proven that.
Okay, continue to be with us, and he is the Deputy Executive Director, National Public Health Agency, Dr. Mohamed Alexwani, giving us an insight into fast the impulse response, especially with drastic decline in active impulse cases, as well as the recent WHO directive to member states. Still on health, let's now move on to health tips. In today's health tips, we take a look at how to do 3 active stretches. Watch this video and learn more. Exercise psychologist Kathy Blunting, MED, as she demonstrates how to do 3 active stretches.
Lawton, and here are 3 active stretches. Lie on the floor and raise your straightened left leg up until you can feel the stretch. Contract your thigh muscle and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Relax and lower your left leg. Then do the same stretch with your right leg. Raise your left arm above your head and bend it to touch the back of your neck until you feel a stretch in the back of your arm. Contract your biceps muscle and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Relax and lower your left arm. Then do the same stretch with your right arm. Stand with the body weight on your right leg. Lift your toes on your left foot until you feel a stretch in your left calf. Contract the muscles in your shin and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Relax and lower your toes. Then do the same stretch on your right calf.
Welcome back to the program. Good morning, Sierra Leone. Just coming to you live on the Slbc television. Welcome to the Thursday edition and the second half of the program. We have been speaking earlier to Dr. Vandi on so far as the impulse response, as well as ACP Prime Akuma on police updates. As of the update, 6 individuals have been arrested in connection with the death of Reverend Father Amadou in Kenema, as well as the theft and the attack, physical attack of a nurse's manager. We continue the rest of the program. In the studios this morning, we have the chairman of the Bodisi Council, who is here to tell us more about development during his tenure. The Bodisi Council is one of the 22 local councils established in the country by the Local Government Act of 2004, as amended in 2022. It provides a legal framework for their establishment, powers and functions. Under his leadership, there has been many changes, laying the groundwork for how residents of Bo can live a better life and grow as a district. Among the key achievements of the chairman's report card for the second year, road connectivity is total. For more on that, I have Chairman Victor Kosehindowa. Good morning and welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning.
So you presented your report card. Give us, key among I know roadworks, health, education has been some of the, the cornerstones of your leadership. So take us through the key highlights of this report.
Yes. Just after I subscribed to the oath of office in in August 10th by the Vice President of Sierra Leone. I made a promise to the people of both districts that I will run an inclusive administration and also a district where everybody will participate, everyone in and no one out. So along that line, I decided to be accountable to them because, you know, it speaks volume for the people to vote for you, especially the resounding vote that was given to me. 92.55% votes I got out of the total vote cast, and that was even the largest percentage ever in the history of both district council votes. So I saw it as a responsibility to become accountable to them and to work to the best of my ability to bring development to their doorstep. So that is what I have done, and I did that on Friday to call all the stakeholders and present my report card to them. And I did that with humility to them so that they know that there is hope for them.
All right, so take us through the
highlights of this report. Feeder roads rehabilitation is 109 kilometers. Culvert construction, 37. Bridges constructed, these are the bigger ones, 6.5 meters long above. It's 10. School rehabilitation, I did 10 across the districts. Rehabilitated health centers, 5. Rehabilitation of community center, standardized one, 4. And also secure funds to construct 50 bedroom hostels for Jala University. We already have that fund now from the European Union, and we are in the process of awarding the contract to 4 contractors who bidded for that project. So we are going to do that 50 bedrooms. And we also constructed 65 hand-dug well, and also did an advanced well of borehole construction, which we did 34, and also created job for 1,600 youths of Bo. And we secured these funds from Road Maintenance Fund Administration, RMFA. We secured the funds from EU, secured the funds from World Bank through the Accountable Governance Project, and also ILO through the Opportunity Salon Program, and also partnered with AVDP and FSRP for the Fit Salon intervention, which they also carried out their activities across the 16 chiefdoms. So these are the activities in summary of what my report card to the people of both districts.
Are these achievements in line with the needs of the communities?
Yes, because
we just based them on what you earlier promised and what's campaign.
What I earlier promised, and also based on the development plan assessments, because we went around to do an assessment, chiefdom by chiefdom, on what they really needed. You know, the advantage I got whilst running for the office was that I was close to the council before I vied for the position. So when my predecessor was there, with all due respect to him, Joseph Munabili, I worked closely with him to also get the felt needs of the people during their assessment needs. So we got this, I'm giving out this report based on the felt needs of them. Most of the chiefdoms prioritized, they did a ranking of it, of which some of them said they want agricultural intervention, which we provided for them. Some of them said no, education is our topmost priority among the rest, which we also provided for them. Some said no, health intervention, because we want our people to be healthier and fit. We provided for them. Road construction also came up, especially for communities, chiefdoms in the northern flank of the district, which we refer to as the Bo North flank. For them, their roads are terrible, so most of those chiefdoms highlighted road as their topmost priority, which also the council is also providing for them. So we went around in the 60 chiefdoms and we sought their needs, and that's what we are giving to them right now to speak.
So how do you rate your report card you as an individual?
Well, on the platform of the promises I made to them that I will give them feeder roads, I'm above average on that, because when you are assessing yourself as a M&E background, you do baseline, and that baseline is what you use key performance indicators on to determine how well you've done. So I'm above average. In percentage terms, we can say 65% and above, or even more than that. So basically, that's the rating I can give.
What are the leftovers?
The leftovers are
what you delivered as against your promises.
Yes.
Yes, well, the leftovers, I still need to do more on health, to rehabilitate more hospitals, because some communities are yearning for that, especially PHUs without staff quarters, because most of them do struggle, and that is what is not attracting the health workers, the staff, to these communities, because they don't have them, and also bringing more communication opportunities to these places, and that's also part of the achievements which I've done. I've brought in more mobile poles around through advocacy with the service providers, which are the Orange, the QCell, and the AfriCell, because if you want to attract people into rural communities, you need to get what it takes, and communication sometimes keep them back away from it. So most times in areas, in communities, there are some chiefdom. There is a chiefdom that has not gotten a single pole, right, from the time mobile pole was introduced in Sierra Leone. So I advocated, and they are enjoying now that communication. This is now attracting nurses to those places, attracting teachers to be transferred there. So we create those enabling environments. So we need there's a need for more roads.
Two challenges facing local councils currently is own source revenue, even though the target is limited. Central government dealing to administer, funds to local council. So what is the secret for you gaining all of this?
Building a very strong network. When you take off office, you need to build a relationship with especially partners that will take you through your success. So I built a very strong network, and also reviewed the existing situation that was existing by then. As I earlier mentioned, before we took up office, there was this huge challenge when the administration was running these institutions. Before the political figures come over, there was kind of a gap. Close to 6 months, these councils were running without political heads. And I would love to say this should be reviewed and looked into. The transition should not take longer period. A month can be okay for transition from one leadership to the other. So because there was that gap, there was a huge challenge. I reviewed that, and indeed now communities without demand, who are not issued demand notice for the past 5 years, now receive their demand notices, and that's where the struggle comes in. They think, I've been living this kind of way, I've not been paying my rates, I should not pay my rate. So the struggle to pay. So because of the struggle and also the distance to come to the bank, I decided to also digitize it. So you can now live in your comfort room and pay. And we are even trying to step it up further. So you pay through Visa card, even in the US, because most of the property owners are staying out of the country. So you can stay abroad and pay. You can still get your receipts, which indicates that you've paid. So reviewing the system and also digitizing it has helped me to raise revenue. Now even the tipper guys pay for their sand they take to the township, and even for stone mining and all of that we're now generating. So we are even above 50% of that now to collect our own source revenue.
I'll come back to Mr. Chairman of Board District Council, giving us an insight into 2-year reports carried presented to stakeholders recently in. Will continue to be with us. Let's move on now to another issue this morning. In Sierra Leone today, everyone knows the importance of education, especially after 2018 when the free quality education was introduced. Since then to now, enrollment has increased in many folds. But even with the introduction of the free quality, education is still inaccessible to many. It's in recognition of the value of education and to also support STEM system that an entrepreneur, Olive Favor Bimba, through the support of her husband, established the Olive B Academy for Girls in Freetown. The institution is purely boarding home for girls, where fees are subsidized by the Bimba family in order to promote girl child education. The school is set to be officially open to the public next week. Calling the studios is the proprietress, Olive Favor Bimba. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
All right, so tell us more about, or in the form of update, what has been, is everything in place for the official opening of the school? We have been speaking to you around the whole vision and how the school likely to operate.
Yes.
So take us to speed as to the opening.
Yeah, so right now we are at the phase where everything is done and ready. Again, like you rightly read, this is a project that was financed by myself and my husband 100%. And for us, it's the way we can give back. And we know that when you give education, Salma, you've given something that you can never take away from anybody. You can like them or dislike them, but you cannot take it away from them. And I think we want to start giving things that cannot be snatched back. And so I believe education is the only thing, and that is where Slbc Academy is really focusing on the girl child in Sierra Leone, to be able to give them the education that they need so they can be very much competitive in the marketplace.
All right, so I understand also that, like I read, that you and your husband decided to subsidize the fees. Is this as a result that the school is very much expensive or what?
No, not necessarily. You know, I brought my son here because we are going to be, we are going to stay here a little bit, and I brought my son here to look for a school for my son that is 7 years old. It's going to cost me close to $5,000–6,000 to have my son in a 3rd grade here. And so, no, the school is not expensive at all. It's 100% boarding, wherein transportation is eliminated, food is eliminated, you don't have to deal with that. Safety is eliminated, you don't have to worry about safety. There is a particular person and institution that you will question in the event of any safety breach. And so we've saved parents a lot of that. And our term tuition is $23,800, and that is us subsidizing, because to keep a child on campus and feed them 3 meals a day, we have a nursery station, we have almost everything that you can think of, 24-hour light in this facility, that most kids don't have that kind of privilege in their homes when it comes to even just studying at night. And so with all of that, we know that the cost of that is way in the 39,000s and above. But we realize that, hey, can we subsidize it? You know, putting the state of the art like what we've done in Freetown is truly, Salma, law for country, period. You know, because you can take that investment and put it somewhere and don't have any headache and receive your interest or profit out of it every single month. And so for us, it's really seeing how can we add value, how can we help our country in any little way that we can. And for us, for me and my husband, this is the only way we actually thought we could help, because this is how we were helped, and this is how we're able to help our own families.
So let's talk around the quality aspects of this school. What makes it different from any other school?
Well, let's start first with the laptop. Every child in the Slbc Academy is walking away with their own personal laptops. For me, it's very, very important. 25 years ago, when I relocated to the U.S., and my kids went to school in the U.S., and to see the value of technology, and you will come across an individual that is a graduate from the university that have no idea as to how the computer functions. And so every child at the Slbc Academy, every student that is enrolled here, have their own personal laptop in the school. And not only that, everything else that you can think of, state-of-the-art science lab. I mean, you are going to be there on Monday, so I know you will see it firsthand. We've put everything in place to make sure that this child, if this child is willing to learn, the opportunity is there, the environment is there, everything is set up for this child to truly achieve their full potential.
So let's talk around the quality aspects of teaching.
Quality, I am super confident. Salma, 3-4 years ago when we did the groundbreaking at this facility, my biggest worry was teachers. But then today I can tell you that Sierra Leone have very good teachers. I think they are just buried under a lot of frustration. And so what we did is we're able to source good teachers. I mean, these teachers went through an intense training. I mean, like our math teacher, we have, you know, very experienced head of schools that conducted these interviews for us, was put on the spot to solve a problem on the board. And to see how he articulated himself and solved that problem. We have good teachers.
Why I ask the question? Because we all know that STEM, the human resource on that aspect sometimes can be limited, even with all schools are still struggling to get either a science, a maths, or a teacher in technology. So how are you able to attract these individuals?
For us,
is it improve condition of service or what?
It is. Some people rise up to the expectation, rise up to the environment that they are in. Water will only take the shape of the container that you put it into. And so we realize that when we create a very high standard, what happens is people are bound to rise up to that standard. And so we realize what are some of the challenges that the teachers are having in the country. And we quickly address those challenges. Transportation is one. Accommodation is another one. Half of their salary is going from them moving from one place to another place. And these are people that have children, that those children need to be fed, and of course other responsibilities. So what we did is we went ahead then and reduced some of those challenges that the teachers have, reduce those burdens that they have. I mean, they talked about corruption in the teaching practice. And most of the time, corruption comes from a place where there is extreme lack. And that is not a ticket to be corrupt, but most of the time, really, that is just the only way out for most people. And so we then went ahead, not only creating a great environment for the students, but we know that if the teacher doesn't have a great environment, it's going to translate to the child. And so we gave the teachers a very good accommodation, very great benefit that will encourage them to come to the classroom and give us their 110%.
So how many kids are actually going to benefit from this first academic year?
Well, we are still enrolling. We're still doing our enrollment is ongoing. We'll have a cutoff time at some point, but our enrollment is still going. So right now we are somewhere around 20-25 kids, and of course we want to grow organically. The capacity of the school is over 700. Okay, so our capacity is very high. And though all of the amenities that we need to make sure that the school function at its high capacity, Salma, we have everything on campus as you and I speak, because we know that tomorrow is not guaranteed to anybody. And so we want to make sure that this vision continuously go further. And so we have our GSS ones. Few of our kids are currently on campus now, and we are very much excited about this new school year. So
it's GSS and SSS?
Yes, GSS 1 and SSS 1.
So let's focus on the sciences. It's not on paper, it's about getting the quality of equipment. Is the school up to that as well?
Salma, if you can put couple millions together to put a facility like this together, then you sure should be able to have these basic things that the kids need to strive. For me, success is not in the structure that we've put. Success is in the teachers and the things that the kids have to be able to do well. And that is really our emphasis. It's the atmosphere in the classroom. It's the communicative approach between the teachers and the students. It's allowing the student voices to be heard. These are all things that allow for a child to be confident. And so we've put all of these things in place. Very little things that people, I know a parent one day was like, oh my God, do you guys have mosquito nets? And I was like, God, we thought about that over 3 years ago, and we just didn't order mosquito nets. We branded it with our logo on it. And so these are all the little details that was put into making sure that our girl child is not only getting an education, but is getting a better quality of life.
So how will the opening look like on Monday?
This is what, yes, I am excited about our official opening. We have the First Lady that will be in Freetown to cut the ribbon for us. And the reason why I'm excited about that, for me as a female, I think is to see that females in Sierra Leone are rising up to a space wherein we are saying that, we can do a little bit better. We can do more. If the opportunity is given to us, we can do more. And so as a all-girls boarding school, for them to actually have their own very first lady of their country in the very first year of them in a school that is built by a Sierra Leonean, not donor funded, nothing, built by a hard-earned income of a Sierra Leonean, I think is sending a very strong message to the community and even the country, and the kids are learning a very strong message, which is love for country. If you were to go to our campus today, Salma, we have our country flag right in the middle of our garden. is sitting right in the middle of the campus. We put it there so high so these kids can see it and start remembering. You know, the Creole people, they say you teach it or you take at the spit they swallow. And so for letting these kids come to really realize that your country is your country. No matter what, it's your country. And so love for country is something that we are really drilling in the hearts of these kids and bringing all of these amazing women in Sierra Leone so they can see their kind and aspire to be the same.
Okay, thank you so much, Olive. Wish you the very best in the grand opening. She is a proprietress of Olive the Academy, Olive Freetown. Mr. Chairman, let's look around the challenges. You mentioned health, climate change, and and energy. These communities are still complaining this 21st century, not even solar in some communities. And we all know these communities are on goal in the Feed Salon program. How else is the council looking at that?
Yes, challenges are always part of administrative journeys. So, yes, there are challenges around energy. There are challenges around health interventions, for example, and we as a council, it's our responsibility to see how best we are pushing some of these challenges and make sure that our people live a better environment. And that is exactly the trajectory my administration is working on, and we are pushing to make sure we help to reduce some of these challenges, because administratively, when you are faced with them, you have to rise up to those challenges and push that you pushing some of those effects. So I'm in constant touch with, for example, the Minister of Energy to push that we introduce solar energies at chiefdom headquarter level, not only based on population, so that we can improve and try to do something to help better the lives of our people.
So what was the reaction of people with your report card?
It was exciting, because for them, they see this as a new way of owing accountability to them. They've not seen this before, and I think for me, that's my own approach towards it, to make sure they are accountable, because they voted me in, and I need to let them know that they voted for the right person.
Okay, thank you so much, Chairman. We are going through some of the local tabloids this morning. My first paper is exclusive newspaper, and it's with a banner headline: APC versus Samsumana, PPS learns 14 days ultimatum. N9 in transition, ESL issued December 31st, 2025 deadline. We have pushed for dramatic reform, quoting the NPRA DG, Brahma Valua Kwema. And as 2026 budget preparation begin, banks, civil society push citizens' priority. From the exclusive move to the Global Times. And it says police are as dangerous armed robbers. You can see the photos of the 6 individuals. 54 Sierra Leoneans deported from Guinea. Zone C received SOC Finland place payments. And finally, on the Global, surveyors in fake land deal appear in court. From the Global, we move to the Awuko newspaper. And it says packaging test and vision, how Susu Chili coconut oil sold out at Africa's trade fair. Major deportation drive, 42 Sierra Leoneans returned from the United States, quoting Togo. MCC grant, additional 26 million to Sierra Leone's Health Ministry, boosting international support. And at the back, you can get spots. From Awuko, my final paper for review this morning has to do with the Congo Times newspaper, and it says deportation. This story, in fact, goes across in most of the newspapers. Deportation of over 40 Sierra Leoneans may affect remittances deep in poverty. Lawyer Society urges government resolution of teachers' strike. CM Senge champions organization SDGs and Agenda 2026. And Takugama Head blames environmental decline on government agencies. On the back, you can get spots. These are the reviews so far, and the views on these newspapers are not the express interest of the SLBC. But with the review, that's how we round things up on Good Morning Sierra Leone. For today, many thanks to my guest from the Bodusi Council, Chairman, Olive the Academy, the Ministry of Health, as well as the Media One. Brahma Kama for the this morning. Many thanks to the production team, especially Daphne Zainab Kumar. Thank you so much for watching. I had to step in for colleagues this morning. Thank you so much for watching. Good morning. The program returns tomorrow.
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done, and its preparation, it is not difficult at all. Nkulenu palm soup base, it's easily done with no difficulties. Just take few ladles and your soup is done. And its flavor, it's amazing. This is Nkulenu's Ghana's